Welcome back, guys, to another exclusive Downtown Rams interview. We have Earnest Edwards from Maine. He is your new Los Angeles Rams receiver. How is it going, Ernest? Thanks so much for joining the show. Welcome to the NFL.
I'm doing good. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, of course. We're excited to talk to you. And just to start this off, we just want to hear a little bit about how you got into the game of football.
Yeah, so ever since I was little, I've been playing football. About 4 or 5 years old, I started off with flag with my best friend, me and my boy Jameer. And man, ever since then, I never missed a year, never stopped. I just fell in love with it. So my mom kind of just threw me on the football field. And, yeah, that's how it all started.
Did you have anybody like growing up that you would consider like a favorite player or somebody you looked up to?
Yeah, in high school, middle school, I looked up to Antonio Brown a lot actually, and Calvin Johnson. Those were my two main guys right there. So Calvin Johnson and Antonio Brown. Man, I remember sitting on the couch, literally just screaming at the TV every time they do something good. I was a big fan. So yeah, them two right there, definitely my favorite players.
Yeah, both talented guys for sure. And you started, playing football in college at Maine. So what was your experience at Maine like?
It was cool, Up in Maine, it's not a lot to do, honestly. It's just football at school. So it kind of forced me to fall in love with the game even more. When I got up there, in high school, I should have took serious. I wasn't training or weightlifting, nothing like that. As soon as I get to college, it was just a whole nother level, honestly. I started lifting, started getting bigger and stuff like that. Yeah, man, I just fell in love with the game so much that it's all I know now. Literally, it's all I think about every day. How can I get at least 1% better each day? So, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And like I know you're the Rochester area of New York, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm from
Yeah,
Clifton Park,
Rochester.
so yeah. I
You
mean,
from who?
I'm from Clifton Park. We're not exactly like next door neighbors, but I thought that was kind of cool that you're
Yeah, we're
on my
kind of
side of
close
the
to each
country.
other. It's kind
Uh,
of close to Rochester.
Absolutely. Yeah. But with that being said, I did want to ask you how the pre-draft process went. It's a little different this year because we talk to prospects every year and people that come on the Rams, and this is way different. You guys dealt with the whole pandemic and had to really, be versatile in how you dealt with it. Still getting your workouts out to people and getting recognized without being able to go to necessarily a true pro day where you'd have all of the scouts and everybody there. So, just kind of take me through that process and how this whole thing went for you.
Yeah, it was kind of weird because, I was ready. I was ready for the whole thing this whole year. But when I was in Florida, I went to Bomeritos down in Fort Lauderdale, one of the best training facilities you can go to for a pro day. So I went to the best, and then this coronavirus started up before my pro day, before I could do my pro day. It hurt because the scouts is there in person. They want to see how fast you run in person, and not just see it on the phone or iPad or whatever. But yeah, it messed everything up. But you had to be creative, so I just used the internet, honestly. I just kept posting my pictures, tagging people, sending it to people in DMs and stuff like that. And then thank God for my agent. I got a good agent, my boy Josh Stevens and David Cantor at DEC Management. Great connections throughout the league. So they were sending it to coaches, and yeah, that's how I got out. A couple coaches hit me up about it, saying they like what they seen. So, but it was definitely weird though.
Yeah, it's definitely an unconventional draft process this year with everything going on. So, pretty typical answer there, just having to get creative and making the best of it for sure. But, after the draft, you ended up signing with the Rams as a UDFA. So did you meet or speak to the Rams pre-draft?
Yeah, I was speaking to the Rams weeks before the draft even started. I was spoken to a couple teams. I narrowed it down to like five teams. Rams was part of that five. So throughout the draft, while the draft was going on, I was talking to teams or whatever. And the Rams told me, "Hey, listen, man, if you don't get, he said, we got one more, two more. Oh wait, they had three in the seventh round. I think 3 more picks in the seventh round, and they literally told me they wasn't going to draft me, but they said if no other team drafted me, I was literally going to be one of the first people they called to have signed. Yeah, when I heard that, I just went talked to my agent, went through teams, depth chart and stuff like that, see what was open, how many receivers they got, or retirements, stuff like that. So I kind of already knew I was going before the draft ended in the 7th round. Um, so yeah, I was excited once I got that call, man, to make it official.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, this is an organization. It's a really good organization for UDFAs in particular. I mean, you just look back at the history with Corey Littleton making the team and obviously becoming a starter, Rodney McLeod from Virginia, and then
Yeah.
Bradley Marquez from Texas Tech, a receiver, Paul McRoberts. I mean, they've had plenty of guys come. So there's always an opportunity here with the Rams. I want to get your thoughts on where you feel, your role is here, coming into camp day one.
I feel like I could play with the best, man. I mean, I feel like I'm not. I can be versatile. I can't just be a slot receiver. I can play on the outside too with the corners. Have fun out there on the island. And then special teams, man. I'm a special teams guy. I take pride in it. I come from Maine, where if Maine wasn't on special teams, then he wasn't playing at all. So I take pride in special teams. And it don't just got to be kick returner or a punt returner. It could be, I mean, whatever they want. Literally, I just want a job on that 53-man roster. So, yeah, man. I feel like I'm just gonna go in and compete and do my best like everybody else. Hopefully I catch some eyes.
Yeah, totally. And just looking at the Rams wide receiver room, what are your thoughts on the other receivers that they have on the team?
Yeah, so I know they lost a couple guys. Except Cooper Kupp still there, Robert Woods still there, and they just drafted Van Jefferson. So I mean, spots open. You know what I mean? Probably just the 3 who solidify right now, but spots open. I'm willing to come in and compete for a spot. Yeah, man, just like everybody else, I know everybody doing the same thing. They got family to feed and stuff like that. So hopefully I can just stay blessed and I can earn a spot.
Absolutely. I mean, that's that's a perfect mentality to have. I want to ask you next, what you're most looking forward to playing in a Sean McVay offense that, look, like a lot of people that I've spoken with that have played for the Rams or, we're going to play for the Rams. It's always, wow, I can't wait to play for Sean McVay. Just because it's like talk about
sure.
unconventional, process they have here. He's kind of an unconventional coach in a sense because he's so different than the stereotypical older coach. He's pretty much, I mean, he's like 10 12 years apart from most people on the roster, so you're talking about somebody that's going to be able to relate more. What are your thoughts on that?
He's definitely different. His mindset is just crazy. He's a smart guy at such a young age. Yeah, man, he's just creative. He like to do things. He like to do trick plays and stuff like that on offense. Had the defense thinking a lot, confused. And that's what his playbook is similar to what we did at Maine. Honestly, we had a spread, and then we did a lot of trick plays, reverses, jets, and stuff like that. Yeah, man, I'm willing to be that guy in the Rams too. So I can't play under him. I mean, I can't wait to play under him. Just have some fun, man. Be creative and go out there and just enjoy the game of football.
Yeah, totally. And this next question is just a question that we like to ask guys after the draft is over. But, looking back at the draft, what would you say was your favorite part of the draft process? And what would you say was your least favorite part of the draft process?
Honestly, just talking to the teams and getting tips from them, honestly. Them just being real with me, telling me where I stand, and just stuff like that, man. Just everything about recruiting, honestly, man. It's always growing up. You always dreamed of being in the NFL, and then actually get to talk to the coaches that coach on the team, man. That's just a blessing, honestly, man. Everything is just a blessing right now. I'm enjoying every moment, and yeah, man. My least favorite part is obviously not getting drafted. Out of the 255 guys that got drafted, I felt like I should have been one of them. I know I come from a small school, but literally, man, I'm not here to be cocky, but I'm confident in myself. The whole FCS knew me. I was All-American 6 times, so I felt like I deserved a shot being drafted, but it ain't happened, so I'm not mad I didn't get drafted. I'm taking it as more motivation. Yeah, man, I'm ready to get to work.
Absolutely, man. I believe, Jamel Demby came from your school and, you guys, putting yourself on the map there. Just think about what you're doing right now, signing with the Rams, getting a shot, And then, whatever you do, you're going to be a model and a role model and example for future Maine football players that, now feel like they have more of a chance than maybe they felt before you. So, it's something special there for sure. I mean, I know you're coming from a small school, but I mean, look, we spoke with Kyle Duggar. He's coming from Lenore Ryan. He went in the second round of the New England Patriots. So like anybody can do it. You know what I mean? So, it's all about exposure. And obviously I do feel like, the coronavirus and everything really hurt the small school guys. I think that's why you saw lower mass small school guys pick this year than any other year, because I mean, regional combines were canceled, things like where, players from, for instance, I'm not far from UAlbany. There's some really good prospects from UAlbany. There's one by the name of Jawan Green. He, of course, didn't get drafted. I just feel like you can chalk it up to the lack of exposure due to the coronavirus. I don't think it's anything where, these guys just didn't have the talent. So I think, teams are more comfortable going with the mainstream,
bigger schools,
prospects.
That's all
exactly.
it is.
So
that's all it was with the exposure. Me not being able to play on TV each week, like the bigger schools, and I also play a part, man. It's just all about exposure. For the Maine program, man, that's what I wanted to do going in there. I'm over talking to my best friends from Maine, how we wanted to change the program around. And I believe in my eyes, we did that, man. We made it to the playoffs, and as far as we ever been in Maine history. So now everybody want to see Randy Moss, son, committed to Maine. So I feel like I'm not even just trying to put Maine on the map. I'm trying to put my city on the map too, because I feel like FCS and Rochester upstate, man, we just under recruited. Honestly, we got some talent. But
I would agree with that.
But we just don't got nobody to expose us to it. So that's what I'm here for. I'm just here for the next generation underneath me, trying to help them out.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. And, I'm just going to ask you a question here based on, your first NFL season. Obviously, the first goal is to make the roster. I would imagine this first goal. What would be a goal aside from making the roster that you really, if you have one, that you want to, set for yourself this NFL season?
It's nice to make the roster, but I want to do something when I make the roster. I want to play some games, man. That's just my goal. Just playing every game, stay healthy, just have fun out there, doing what I've been doing since I was a little kid, catching the football, running around, make people look silly. So, man, just playing every game, that would be a blessing.
Yeah, and, lastly, what would you say to Rams fans about what you're bringing to the table day one in LA?
Yeah, I feel like I could bring, a lot of explosiveness. Call myself a playmaker. That's just what I do. If you watch film, I make plays when a game on the line or it's fourth down and we need a first down or we need to win the games, man. I'm that guy you can look to. I don't like to fall under pressure. So, and I'm a leader, man. I bring leadership and just my craft, willingness to get better each day. I'm going to work my butt off 110% each day. No matter if it's just the film room, it don't matter. I'm a worker. I'm a hard worker. And like I said, man, I'm a playmaker. So it's just a regular, just what a regular football player would say about themselves. You know what I mean? So, well, I'm going to demonstrate it as well. I don't just do a lot of talking. I like to demonstrate it as well. So I think that's what I bring.
Yeah, absolutely. Alexis is from the Show Me State in Missouri. And, I love that slogan because it's kind of like, show me, don't tell me. And, you told us and we've seen your stuff. So we know you're going to show us as well. Hey, man, we really appreciate it. Appreciate you taking the time. Obviously, we know you're busy and, there's a lot being thrown at you right now. But, welcome to the Rams. And, man, glad to have you. Let's keep in touch, Earnest.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it. Thank you guys for having me.
Yeah, of course. Thank you so much. Take care.
Thank you too.